We're back,
Get it going,
y'all.
man.
Man, G, along with Alex, another great episode of Section 300. Thank y'all so much for tuning back in. As always, make sure you guys tapped into LA Sports Report. A lot of great stuff going on across all platforms there. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the show. And yeah, a lot of good stuff coming to you each week regarding all our teams across the city. So as you guys can see, excited to really get back and get going with everything going on right now. We'll start with what you guys just witnessed from the Lakers handling business versus the Wizards, 125-120. A little bit of a closer game we would have liked, but a win nonetheless. So we'll take it. Alec, any first thoughts on the Lakers victory you just witnessed?
Yeah, nice little stat pad session for the Lakers. We got there. LeBron and AD had some pretty big performances once again against, as you mentioned, like an inferior opponent, but you play who's in front of you, so got the job done. And I believe they're like 8-2 in the last 10 or something like along those lines. So that following a trend of good basketball that they've been playing. So it's good that regardless, they got the job done. It was a team effort. Like it was a pretty spread scoring performance from the starting five. I think everyone was in double figures. Let's see real quick. Get the box score. Yeah,
everybody
like
the
whole starting five at 16 or more. So
yeah,
it was a group effort in this win. The bench didn't contribute a whole lot, and it's nice to have Gabe Vincent back. I'm hopeful that he can be a major piece in that rotation as well. But great performance from the starting five once again in this game. And glad we're just on the winning track.
But to that point, something we kind of joked about off air with Matt, who's our Celtics guy. We talked about just about this time of the year being the time you start gearing up for the playoffs and all of that, and how these games, while they might be kind of stat padding for some squads, do actually have a lot of value. Obviously, for us being in the position we are, still trying to cement our playoff spot. We also just in regards to chemistry this time of year, getting everybody in sync and making the next steps to make this playoff push as we desire. And yeah, having our starters now playing well definitely goes a long way, and we'd love to see more contribution from more of our role players as things go along. To that point, we just witnessed another episode of LeBron's Mind the Game podcast come out, and part of the episode he talked about the importance of role players, and there was some joking things to say about that because he started talking about Miami and how he didn't feel like he had the right pieces early on there. I mean, y'all dominated the first few rounds of the playoffs, but for another day. We'll come back to that. But the important part of this time to our Lakers right now, he sees the importance of role players and learned situations like that in the past for how we now make runs right now, and making sure we have the pieces in place to make the jumps that are necessary to be the Western Conference Finals level team that we were last year and beyond. Do you believe we are at that level again this year with our role players? And do you believe those role players we have this year do you believe in them to make the right moves this postseason to get us into a deep run?
It's interesting because I do believe that like some of the role players we brought in, like a Gabe Vincent this past offseason, or like a Vanderbilt that we brought in at the trade deadline last year, I do think they can be, as Bron said, like superstars in their roles. But I wish we have got to see it more this season. It's just they've been plagued by injury throughout the year. So as you mentioned, the importance of ramping up and getting hot at the right time and finding that continuity as you're coming into the postseason. I'm hopeful that like Gabe Vincent can really get his feet wet and get his feet underneath him so that he can be a contributing piece as a role player. And same with Vanderbilt. Like I think we need him to be a superstar in his role as a defender as well. In those 7-game series where you're able to game plan for the same matchup for 4+ games, he's going to be crucial for stopping guys, especially in the half court. So I do think we have guys that are capable. We haven't seen it really this season, so we're kind of just banking on what we've seen them be able to do in the past or on previous teams in Vincent's case. But I do think they have the pieces to do so.
I believe they have the pieces to do so. But also in that, as much as I do believe in them, it's a thing as well where they're not the only ones aware of this. Obviously, the whole league has shifted and are become aware of the necessity of role players. And we see a lot of the top teams aren't necessarily super teams, or even the squad like the Celtics are a super team because they have a lot of players that are superstars in their roles, as he's kind of saying in this quote here. So yeah, a lot of these squads are in right positions to make good runs as well. And to the squad that's been the one that we keep eyeing in regards to Denver, their role players are clicking right now as we continue to see. So we'll see how our guys match up to them if we do get there at some point during these playoffs. So we'll pay attention to it all, and I do have belief that our guys will step up when called upon. I think the guys that are already in rotation are showing that they are aware of what time of the year it is right now and are trying their best to make some jumps a little bit. And then, as you pointed out, we're going to get Jerry Vanderbilt back hopefully at some point, and we're going to get Gabe Vincent more ingratiated in this offense as well too, and that will go a long way for us. So great things with that. And then if all else fails, the second option still is there for us too.
I was just about to say,
I'll be okay.
with more Gabe Vincent, Dinwiddie probably falls a little bit farther out of the rotation.
We shall see. But on another topic that was brought up on the Mind the Game podcast was not only talking about our Lakers squad and what's going on with them. He gave a lot of praise to the OKC squad, not only with their top guy and Shea and what he's doing, but in regards to Chet, when they were talking about some players in regards to Chris Bosh and the importance of his role back on the Heat days and how he was able to spread the floor for them, which allowed LeBron and D-Wade to slash as they did and have all the great plays that we saw. And now how we see that in modern day, a guy like Chet, who now spaces the floor for OKC, was a missing piece for them to open up that offense to become the number one team, or the number one, number two team that they are this year, with Shea and Jalen really getting into the paint and slashing and doing all the stuff they want to do as they are because of the space that Chet provides. So with that, it felt like it might be a chess move potentially. You would think the Lakers low-key want OKC in the first round if they can, and that he sees what's going on over there and gives them praise, but wants to get them now before they really get rolling as they get older in the league.
I was gonna say quietly, Josh Giddey been playing decently as well too recently. But yeah, I think I think it's probably a little bit of both, because I think he legitimately does respect what he's been seeing from OKC throughout this season. How could you not really
Right.
They're a really young nucleus that's playing ahead of schedule, and Chet's been a huge part of that, and Jalen Williams has been like a revolution for them as well too. I've seen him. It's probably a little premature, but I've seen people trying to put him in top 20 conversations. Not quite there yet.
But the NBA Twitter is a mess, dog. Every time.
He's been playing some great ball though, and they have as a collective, and so they definitely do deserve their respect. But I do think if you're LeBron or AD, you don't really fear any team beyond Denver, and especially a team that has no real playoff experience beyond Shea, who played with CP3 a little bit in the bubble. But you're not afraid of that matchup. Like you probably have a level of confidence going against an inexperienced team in the first round if that were to happen. But I don't think LeBron's like hunting a matchup, or the Lakers are hunting a matchup. I think they probably, the way they're playing, they seem like they're trying to win every game. And so I think they want to get as high as they possibly can, so that they don't have to fight and play 2 games in the play-in to get to the playoffs in the first place. So.
Correct. So, yeah, I agree with all that you said, and we'll see how our guys position themselves to get whatever matchup they can and just get in these playoffs, as you pointed out, and make whatever need to happen to make the run that we believe is capable. So we'll stay tuned to it all, and that really is it for the moment. In regards to looking forward, we'll go ahead and jump to that now. By this time next week, as you guys just saw, we just handled business versus the Wizards. We then follow that up with games versus the Cavs on Saturday. So we've got a couple of days till that matchup. The Timberwolves on Sunday, and then we'll be back after the Warriors-Lakers game on Tuesday. But also, real quick in that, the bottom of the screen is the rest of the games. Those are the last one of the season. So Cavs, Wolves, Warriors, Grizzlies, Pelicans, and that's the end of the regular season. So by the end of the season, Alec, where you think we stand in the Western Conference?
4 tough games out of the 5, just because you got, especially the Warriors, who are fighting right below us, fighting for positioning as well, trying not to get snuck by the Rockets, who have lost a couple, so they might be falling out of that play-in spot. But by the end of that was what, 5 games? I think they could probably go.
Yeah, 5.
I think it's 3-2, probably, in these 5, and so that would put them at what, 47 and
35.
Yeah, so it's probably in the 7-8 range. I think that would be great. Like if they could get up to 8 and only have to win one game to get into the playoffs.
Right.
Putting less stress on your bodies and everything.
Correct.
So I will say I would kind of have to look at the Kings and Suns schedule too, just with them being tied right above us. But I would say on the optimistic side, I think they can grab that 8 seed. If not, I think they stay where they are. I don't think they fall below the Warriors.
As you see, we're 8-2 right now and playing good basketball. So with the schedules that's coming up, though, there are good opponents. We are starting to click right now, as we've pointed out a couple of times. So it's very possible that we win the game necessary to make some jumps. Obviously, we still are a couple of games back from the Suns and Kings based on the losses we've had. So we'll see if they fall a little bit and give us some room to jump ahead to make that play-in tournament a little bit easier on us, as you pointed out. But 3-2 over the last 5 sounds right. We've said that a few times, and we've been way off, and we've said it at times and been wrong and been right to the nth degree, as they had a couple runs earlier this season too. So we'll see how it plays out, hoping for the best. And you guys will continue to see our reaction to it all as this thing plays out. So those are the main things I wanted to get to. Any other Laker comment you wanted to make real quick?
I think that was it. You had one more note. It wasn't specifically Lakers related though, just about conference-less playoffs.
Oh, sure. We'll jump into that real quick as well. As you see here, the Western Conference, as we've seen in the league just a few times, notably in recent years, sometimes conferences get very stacked, and we'll have teams that, as you see here in the Western Conference, are at the bottom at 44-33, but are way above 500 playing great basketball. Then you flip to the East side, and it's not exactly the same thing. a lot of teams are that if they switch conferences would not even be in consideration for the playoffs if they moved around. So with that being the case, you think we're getting to a point finally where the NBA should move to a conference-less playoff, or that it continues to stay as it is?
I think it's been like this a lot over the course of years. It does, because I feel like a lot of times it does favor the West. Like the West tends to be stronger. Not quite as much of a bloodbath as it is this year, but we've seen years like that in the past. I think people have brought up kind of like the 2010 years where the West was just like this. We had teams damn near winning 50 games and still in like the 8th seed, and then the East with a little bit of a weaker conference. So I don't think that it necessarily changes just because we've seen this in years past. It would be dope to see though, like if we had a conference-less playoffs and it was just the top 16 teams made it. And I mean, you could still have a play-in tournament as well, but maybe that's conference-less as well. Just those next 4 teams kind of battling it out, or those last 8 teams, I guess, battling for the last 4 spots. But yeah, I think it's probably going to remain the same. Like I haven't really heard many rumblings about league having interest in moving to.
Right, it's always a fan thing that comes up, and they'll post the standings. Like, imagine if this was the top 16 instead of the conferences. So it's all fan hype, and we are fans ourselves. So I threw it out there. So your take on it?
Yeah, it will be cool to see. I would probably enjoy it, but I don't think it's going there that way anytime soon.
Got it. I will say again, from the fan perspective and someone who would like to see it, part of a way I could advocate for is just saying, I think also just the way the playoffs already are formatted as is, just in the sense of having the 2-3-2 format and how it goes back and forth. I believe that is right, or it's 2-2-1-1-1.
2-2-1-1-1.
Yeah, for the playoffs. Having it when you're moving just between cities and you're playing 2 games in a city before you move back and forth, that alleviates some of the travel issues that may have been a cause for concern. Also, I just don't think we should reward bad basketball. And there are teams that clearly are trying to tank and all that kind of stuff anyways. And we have teams that are getting pushed to the side solely because of location. I don't think that should have the factor. That should be a factor as much as it is right now. So, yeah, we'd love to see it at some point. Not going to see anytime soon based on the NBA's reaction to the conversations, but from the fan side, we can hope for it, and hopefully one day it comes to life. So be it. But for now, again, a lot of high hopes for what already is set up as we have it, and again, hope for the Lakers to make a good push this postseason. So we'll be back next week for it all. For those watching on YouTube, again, we mentioned follow us on LA Sports Report. A lot of great stuff going on over there as always. appreciate all of the love. Subscribe to the show and all of that, and we'll be sure to show love back to you guys. So good stuff on that regard. What about on the topic of playoffs? Let me go and do a quick segue. Got him.
Of course. I should have known.
On the pod?
I should have known. I should have known. Got him. All right, will you finish the job, though? Will you finish the job?
Hey, I finished the job playing against you, so that's all I care about.
You did.
I got the job done.
Wimby got it done. Wimby got it done.
We haven't fully talked about it on here, but we've been in a fantasy basketball league all season long, and me and Alec have been pretty much head to head all year long, trying to see who will come out on top. And we played each other in the second round of the playoffs last week. And I forgot to mention it on the pod, but had to sneak it in this week because I got the best of them and held on to the victory. As you guys see, only won by like 16 points. But a win's a win. I'll take it. And we'll see if I can do anything this round because all my guys keep getting hurt. But
they drop it.
Sure. It's been fun to watch nonetheless, and I'm glad just to be here. So I'll take the victory. But to that point, somewhat part of why you had some struggle to end the year was because you had guys like Kawhi in and out of the lineup, and James Joel Embiid, who we talked about at times, and his injuries, who's finally returning to the Sixers. And while we are mentioning Kawhi, we see that he had an effect on your team in the fantasy world, and he's had some effect on the Clippers in real life as they're finding their way still in the Western Conference. What are your thoughts on the Clippers standing right now? And we'll go on from there after you respond.
Yeah, I would actually take the positive angle on Kawhi's availability this year. He's played 68 games this year, which is first time since 2017. I was looking at his games played. That's crazy. Yeah. That's been 7 years since he played that many games. And on that note, I'm slightly concerned that maybe that comes back to hurt him in the playoffs because we've seen him go down in the playoffs kind of unexpectedly with lower leg injuries. So I'm hopeful that his body is strong. I know he's sat out last game. I think he's sitting out the game on Thursday as well because they sent him home from the road trip to kind of get work done on his knee and just get him healthy and whole for this playoff run. So it seems like they're already preparing him for that. But yeah, to his credit, him and PG have played most of their games this year, and I know that was a point of emphasis for the Clippers and taking the regular season seriously. And kind of cementing themselves as a top team in the West, and they've done so. So salute to them for that. But it is a little bit of a concern because, as we talked about, I think he is the one person I trust the most in the playoffs for the Clippers. And if something goes wrong with him, I'm a little bit concerned with Harden leading it and Paul George and company. So.
Yeah, what was that? Wasn't that just last year where they played? What was it? The Suns in the first round, and
he played got to a good start.
Got to a good start, and then all of a sudden
Kawhi went down. It was just Russ.
It was a wrap on that. So we love to see him back on the court properly, and hopefully able to finish the job. A lot of folks have high hopes this year, and we talked about them being potentially the biggest threat to the Nuggets this year for a championship. And when they're clicking, have. Just felt really good about the squad that finally is on the court here for the Clippers, and want to see them actually manifest or reach their full potential. So them staying on the court will be major, and hopefully they don't run into the problems your fantasy team did and having guys sit out when needed most. So we'll stay tuned with him to the Clippers, and to that point, I guess I'll ask, what are you doing a kind of a temp check right now as we're a week away from the playoffs essentially, or the end of the season? What is your belief right now that the Clippers will make the Western Conference Finals, as people have been believing they will do this season?
Yeah, I mean, we did see some positive in the course of this last week. They were able to get two solid wins on the road. Against Philly, it was a close one. And then they took care of business against Charlotte, as they should. And then I'm blanking on who that third opponent was that they beat. But they had some. Yeah, they had some good wins after kind of having a little bit of a rough patch that we were talking about last episode.
They beat Sixers, beat the Magic.
That was
beat the Hornets, and then lost to the Kings yesterday.
Magic. So that was a good win too on the road against the Magic, who just saw today they're 2 games out of the 2 seed in the East. So that was definitely a good road win for them as well.
Very
and then had a tough loss against the Kings without Kawhi as well. But kind of on the better end of the spectrum, after they had some struggles, they kind of found their footing a little bit. And I guess in terms of temperature check, For Western Conference Finals, I still have the trust in them. Probably definitely after the Nuggets, and just kind of on the similar footing as the Thunder and the Timberwolves, just because those teams kind of need to prove it to me. The Clippers kind of need to prove it in a sense too, just the way they've faltered at times, whether it's injury or choking. But I think they're kind of on the same footing with those other two teams. I slightly give them the edge because I have seen them deep in the playoffs. I have seen them in the Western Conference Finals a couple years ago. So I know that they can do it, but they're kind of on a similar level with the Thunder and the T Wolves to me.
Yeah, got you. So we'll see what jumps that they can make over these next couple of weeks to cement themselves as a squad that we believe can make a deep run. We'll continue to stay tuned with all that's going on. They have some tough matchups coming up to end the regular season, as you guys can see here, and we'll be sure to react to it all. Before I even jump to that, and we'll talk about by this time next week as we do. You also need a question about just James Harden specifically. You still having doubts about James Harden? Have you had these playoffs? What are your thoughts on him right now?
Yeah, man. The system, I don't know. The system might need an update or something like that. I don't know what's going on, but offensively, we know they had the struggles when they first traded for him, and they completely smoothed that out. They went on probably a 30-game stretch where they were playing incredible basketball. Looked like the best team in the league. But then the defense, as we talked last episode, the defense has been struggling for Harden. And then I think the concerns really are about him in the playoffs. And that's the point we're getting to now. We're getting to the first round of the playoffs and not coming into it playing your best ball of the season. So would like to see him ramping up, as we talked about for the Lakers, and that attention to detail and just effort on that side of the ball ramp up. Because that's been a sore spot for them. Getting Russ back definitely helps, but Russ hasn't been getting more than 20 minutes or so, off the bench too. So if we're going to be relying heavily on Harden playing majority of those point guard minutes, we're going to need him to pick up the slack defensively too. And so I'm a little bit concerned in the playoffs because those are the moments where we've seen him shrink. So it's going to be a lot on Kawhi's shoulders if he doesn't come to play night in, night out. So yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of what we envisioned, or not fully the slump, but just in regards to the role. We saw that the pressure may not fully be on James Harden's shoulders this year, as you now have who he can kind of deflect to in having Ty Lue as the head coach there, which should go a long way for them, and then having Kawhi and PG being the face of the squad. But we saw, just as you pointed out, how much of an impact James Harden had when he first got here and how well they were rolling. So hopefully we can get back to that because of how they've somewhat slumped from that high. We will still pay attention to what James is doing and hope that he delivers as he is somewhat pushing himself to do. While it has seemed like it has been a slump, his stats at least still look decent. I believe he's still averaging somewhere around, I forgot exactly what numbers are, my apologies, but when I saw that they were still high, and he's contributing numbers-wise at a decent level. So if he can just make sure that the numbers on the board in some sort of way, that surely will obviously go a long way for us as we need to this postseason. So
I think the overall stats still check out, but the game they just played without Kawhi, which is kind of a litmus test as well.
Yeah.
Against the Kings,
doesn't always quite pass as it needs to.
He was 1 for 7, and two things wrong with that. One, obviously a horrible percentage, but two, he only took 7 shots. And when Kawhi is out, we're gonna need you to take 20 shots probably.
Yeah.
You and Paul George are gonna have to carry that offensive load. So don't want to see that when it comes playoff time. If Paul George or Kawhi is out, we're gonna need you to step up and be that second scorer. So
to that original quote when he first got here about being the system we referred to back often, the system that was in place when he was the guy was him shooting the ball whenever he wanted to, pretty much. Just the ultimate green light. So for him to have that system in place at times and then to still be kind of hesitant or passive as he now is, embracing more of that point guard role. It is nice that you are passing the ball and distributing, keeping guys involved, but you still have a guy that is James Harden, and we want you to put the ball in the basket when you can. So hopefully he gets back to that at times when called upon, and it'll go a long way for us. So we'll see how that goes. You want to do like a number? You say you had a question, just your belief level. Do you want to put like a number on belief, or you want to just leave it at that?
Belief level, just like in the Clippers making the Western Conference Finals, or what?
Yeah, either one.
It's tough because we've seen the highs and lows with this team.
Yeah.
And they're probably somewhere. I think they're closer to the higher end, but they're somewhere in the middle. I would say if like 10 is the highest, I would say 7, like that they could make the Western Conference Finals. Yeah.
Sounds about that's kind of the number I had in mind. Also, it was almost at an 8 or 9 for a few times at the end of the season. Now as they've gone up and down, it's more so. More so around that 7 spot. So we'll see if they can give us a little bit more faith during this last stretch of the regular season. And to that point, by this time next week or by the end of the season, pretty much as these are the final games, we'll have the Nuggets tomorrow. By the time you guys watch this, the Jazz, the Cavs, the Suns twice, the Jazz again, and then the Rockets at the end of the year. So those are all the games we're going to go about next week, or however you want to do it. This is the final stretch for the Clippers. How do you think they fare?
Yeah, Nuggets game is tough. I think they probably lose that. Jazz, I think they could beat twice. Suns, they probably split. So let's see, that's 3-2, and then Cavs, like they were close to beating them on the road. I think they can win that game. I'll give them. I'll give them 5-2 in the last 7. Yeah.
That then would put them at 52-30. If my math is not quick, math is right on that. Which still might end up being around the 4 spot because the Thunder, Wolves, and Nuggets will continue to win games themselves also. So it's a good spot for them. How much will the seeding matter for them in the first round? And do you think they can make a run with the position that they potentially will be in?
Yeah, I think it matters a little bit just because we've seen that ugly beast in Dallas. Luka's had their number before in the playoffs. And Dallas quietly, like the trades they made, the acquisitions they made at the deadline, getting Gafford and PJ, good moves defensively for them because they've sorely missed that for a while. And obviously Luka hasn't been the most like bought into that side, and Kyrie, that's not his strong suit. So good moves there, and they've been playing really good basketball. Luka's been playing like an MVP. So that would be a tough matchup. The Pelicans would be a tough matchup if BI is healthy. I know that there's like some question about whether like he'll be fully healthy, ready for round 1 of the playoffs. But they've been a tough matchup for them during the season. So either one of those teams, I think, can give them a fit. They should come out on top though. But between both of those, like I have confidence in them. As I said, like I think my confidence is like a 7 out of 10 in them. But both of those teams could give them scares at full strength. Yeah.
Wouldn't be the easy first round you can sometimes hope for in the playoffs, but I think they still would be the better squads in those positions and will be able to handle themselves accordingly. So we'll talk about it more as they once it finalizes. But for now, still a good spot for the Clippers to be in, and hope they continue to build on things in the right way as things go along. So again, good stuff there. Good stuff. We'll continue to keep close attention to them. For those watching on YouTube, again, show love on LA Sports Report. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Appreciate all you guys tuning in there, and we'll continue to bring good stuff to you guys each week. So go ahead.
One quick question: if they somehow like fell to 6, how do you think they would fare against the Thunder round 1?
I think it's the same situation as the Lakers in a way, and that I think the veteran experience would get them over the hump. And maybe not even fully on the court. Maybe I think that could be a Ty Lue series where Ty Lue shows why he is viewed by many as one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in the league, as some people may even argue. I think he could put up a scheme versus that Thunder squad where, as good as Shea is, as good as Jay Will and Chet are, and all the pieces they have put together there, I think this veteran Clipper squad can make the move still to stay ahead of them, though Shea is damn near MVP as he's been playing this year. So, I think that's a coaching matchup right there.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that analysis. maybe I lean on it too much, but I do think the experience matters, like in the playoffs. Like we see it year in, year out. Like
I think coaching
young
experience
teams,
matters too. I think that's where
exactly,
Ty Lue shows his ass. So
exactly. So I'm with you there. Like I think even if they did fall to 6, they would still be like the slight favorites to me. In
yeah,
that matchup.
yeah. So yeah, definitely interesting stuff there. And as we said, we'll talk about that more as it plays out. So good stuff on the pro level. Going down to the college ranks and what's going on at USC and all the like. We'll start off on the men's side real quick. There have become rumors that Bronny will be entering the transfer portal soon. It's led to a lot of funny memes the last couple of days. The Bronny decision memes and all kinds of stuff coming up. But seriously, we do hope for the best for him. We saw it didn't quite go to the best as he would have liked this first year as USC was finding its way. But he did show flashes that show he still can reach the heights that folks project him to reach at some point on the line with some after coming out of the proper situation. So that being the case, what should Bronny's next step be? If you were in Bronny's shoes, where would you go? Would you transfer for real? Would you just stay at USC? Because they didn't fully confirm it. It's just rumors still from what I've seen. Or would you just go straight to the league and just figure it out up there?
Yeah, it's interesting because there are like a lot of options here. Like you just presented, like he could go straight to the league. I don't think he's drafted high, but I think he would get drafted. And then you could stay at USC. Andy Enfield is leaving as well. He's going to SMU. So I don't know who their head coach is going to be, but
top rumors right now is the coach from Arkansas. I'm looking on his name, but Arkansas coach is a respected guy across college basketball right now and would be a nice fit if we get him.
Okay. So yeah, you could stay there. And the hope there, I guess, would be that you get more of a prominent role going into this season and can be a starter and get starters reps. On that token, you could transfer somewhere where you know you're going to be the starter and get starters minutes. I've seen people say like he could potentially go to Duquesne, where LeBron's I think high school teammate coaches now as well. So could follow that route. That's kind of like family oriented, and you know you have someone there that's in the James gang, in the Clutch Mafia that could be in your corner there. You could go the Ohio State or Akron route as well if you want to go the LeBron legacy Ohio route and go to Ohio State like LeBron never did, kind of things. So there's plenty of options, or you could go to like play for one of the kind of like blue blood schools where you probably still would be a role player, but you're getting the mentorship of a Calipari or something like that. I would probably lean away from the blue blood way, because I think he needs the reps, and he needs like the starters minutes to like really kind of come into his own. So I would probably go the Duquesne route, or even if it is like Ohio State, like because they haven't been like cream of the crop in recent years. Like you probably can get more minutes there, but I would probably prioritize going somewhere if I do transfer, going somewhere where I could play the most amount of minutes and really get the reps in. Because I feel like that's what he needs.
That I definitely like what you're saying there. I actually right now what I want to do is echo a point that I saw from a guy on TikTok immediately.
Okay.
He goes on Hoop Politics. Are you aware of him on TikTok at all?
Maybe if I saw him.
But yeah, he shares a lot of good points on there. Talks about college basketball and a lot of the inner workings and things that go on across the ranks there. And pointed out when talking about Bronny, I believe it was a couple of days ago, when news broke himself, and talked about how he sees what's going on with Duquesne and what could be possibility there, but also he is, and I'm aware as well as I had the same thought, which is that Bronny, I think
I've seen him
and LeBron both, I think don't want to how I say it the right way, I guess stoop too low in a way. Not that Duquesne is lesser than them, but just that he still might want to be on some of a big stage and continue to show that with him being Bronny Jr., LeBron Jr., whatever, going to a school like Duquesne might not meet his whatever. So he may
his
still
star level,
his star level, whatever. So he still might reach around, maybe not for a blue blood, but somewhere, or he might still reach for a blue blood, just is a better situation for him. And a spot that could be that Hoop Politics pointed out with Michigan State. Now, as great as a spot that is, I think with going there with Coach Izzo, we've seen what he's done with guards in the past. I remember that run he made with I believe that was Cassius Winston a few years ago, and players of the like. And he has shown that I think Bronny being the defensive type of player that he is, going to a squad of Michigan State who is known for defense at times, I think that would be a good fit. But don't Ohio State and Michigan State have a rivalry?
That's not as fierce of a rivalry. It's like
It's not
Ohio
as
State,
serious, but it's
Michigan.
there, correct? So that was my only thought. Like,
I guess
I don't
maybe a
know.
little bit. They're Big
I don't
Ten
know
rivals.
LeBron,
Yeah.
that was just my only joking thought. I don't know if LeBron get the co-sign, but a school like that, to Hoop Politics' point, I think will be a great fit for Bronny if he wants to stay on the blue blood level, however you want to describe it, the high major level, and bounce around from there and find a better spot to showcase his talents and develop his talents with a coach that for sure will be there to build him up in the right way. So we'll see if he looks in that route if he wants to. Also, as much as there are talks, because the rumors were he was in the portal, it may not be necessarily the best fit for him. But I mean, I think being at SC and like I'm LeBron's son. I'm gonna get where I want to get at some point.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm gonna just be in college. I'm gonna be at USC. I'm
I know
gonna
they
have
want
fun
to
and figure
be
it
in
out.
LA. Yeah.
I want to stay in LA. I'm gonna just stay here and chill. So I know there's folks that have all these draft expectations. And LeBron himself might have some expectations, but me, if LeBron is doing what he says he's doing, as he said a couple of days ago, he's gonna let Bronny be his own man, make his own decisions. I'm staying in LA and chilling. So we'll see. That's somewhat of a thought that I had if I was Bronny, as much as there are some pressures.
It was confirmed that he's entering the transfer portal, right? Or is that still rumor? It's not.
From what I saw, y'all said rumors. I didn't see the camp. Everything was from that Hoopwise Twitter, who I believe is
that's what I was trying to ask. I was like, is this reputable? Do we know? Yeah.
LeBron himself was like, we haven't. I think even in that response didn't quite confirm it, but he said, yeah, he would let Bronny be his own man and make his choices. So yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, if I was him, I'd be chilling. I'd get in that streamer bag out during the off season, make sure I rack the followers up on Twitch and whatever, and call it a day. Because either way, I'm gonna get where I want to go, being in the position that I'm blessed to be in. If I was Bronny, so yeah, we'll see what he does. Fun things for sure on the way for him, and we'd love to hear what folks think will be the next best step for him.
Hey, Bronny can do he could do the funniest thing ever, man. He could just go to UCLA.
No, absolutely not. The one thing you don't want to do after all of this, make yourself an enemy. Yeah, don't go away to them Bruins. No need for all that. If you're gonna stay home, stay right where you at, and let the USC take care of you. So yeah, hopefully he makes the right call on that one. So funny stuff with that, and good stuff with that, and hoping for the best with him as he goes along. For sure, rooting for him, even beyond the jokes, rooting for if he does go to UCLA or whatever, rooting for him wherever he goes, and hoping for a successful career as he goes on. So good stuff on that front, and hope for the best for him. Going to the ladies' side, which has been all the talk of the last few weeks as the tournament goes on. Want to give a big cheers to the USC and UCLA basketball teams for great seasons. Didn't quite come out at the peak as you would have hoped, as they had, but they put out great, absolutely valiant efforts, and love what we saw from them. And definitely was a very fun season on both sides. Salute to Juju and the squad at USC. Salute to the UCLA's girls for putting on great performances as well. And yeah, really enjoyed watching them during the whole season as we followed them, and then during this tourney run that they made. It was truly a joy. So yeah, just wanted to give them their praise right now. Any thoughts as their seasons have come to a close?
Yeah, I mean, this is the most I've watched USC women's basketball ever in my life, for sure. I think Juju really put them on the map as a school, but really helped put women's basketball on the map, along with Caitlin Clark. Like, she became just as much box office as Caitlin Clark has been in the past couple seasons. And that was huge for USC, huge for women's basketball, huge for the city. And it was just dope to see both these teams, USC and UCLA, be great at the same time, especially because the men weren't good this year. It was great that the women were great this season. So we had that to fall back on. And they were really fun to watch. Both teams respectively had different styles, as we said. Like USC had more of the superstar and the team around her, whereas UCLA was more of a collective group. But both played fun brands of basketball. Both competed till the very end and went out valiantly. And it was very, very fun to watch throughout the entire season. And also a rest in peace to the Pac-12 because that was
Right.
the end of the Pac-12, and they put on for the conference as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, definitely salute to them. And I guess some of the maybe not the best part, because what the best part, which is what we saw. But I guess the next on the list is just that it's not a one and done thing for them. I think both these squads will be around for the next few years with the piece they have put together on both sides. And excited to see what the runs they make, both in the Big Ten conference that they're moving over to, and then the tourney runs. I think they still will be able to make, even facing new opponents all year as they go on here. So yeah, very fun stuff either way. We'll be tuned into it all for sure going forward. And yeah, just appreciate them for putting on the great seasons that they did. So yeah, salute to them on that front. On the flip side, we have the picture of UCLA here. They sadly lost to LSU before LSU went on to face Iowa in that all-time game a couple of days ago. And LSU had Angel Reese leading the way as part of that victory versus our Bruins here. And after her loss to Iowa, she announced that she'll be taking her talents to WNBA. The Sparks are our LA squad for women's basketball, and love to see them have success. Should the Sparks bring Angel to LA?
She got the Sparks colors. She already comfortable in purple and gold for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's some really, really talented players in women's college basketball. That's why it's a great opportunity for the WNBA, bringing in these really talented young ladies.
Yeah.
And they got a real chance to really boom with this new upcoming season and this draft class. I think with that, she's near the top of near the cream of the crop. I think probably just outside of where the Sparks are picking, because I believe they were at 2 and 4. We said,
yeah, 2 picks as well. Yeah, that's true.
Right. So I think probably she's in probably that like 5 through 7, 8 range. I think mock drafts kind of have her either going to like the Chicago Sky or
right.
going to the Minnesota Lynx. And I could see that because I mean these four, of course, Caitlin Clark a lock at 1.
Right.
Cameron Brink. I think her and Angel Reese had similar stats, but I think she's a little bit more like a polished offensive player.
Yeah.
And so I can see her being higher. Rakeia Jackson, I'm actually not as familiar with out of Tennessee. Cardoso, I know, really great player out of South Carolina.
Similar thing with Rakeia, just very, very refined game there. That will greatly be utilized for that Sky Squad. So yeah,
right.
I think she's for sure there, and yeah, they'll utilize her in a great way.
Right. So this makes sense. I think if Paige was going to, I think Paige probably would have been ahead of her, Angel as well. But Paige is staying for another year, UConn. But yeah, I think she's probably somewhere between that 5 to 8 range. Angel.
Yeah, that does sound right. But I will say it would be nice to have the city of Angel here take place. Would have been dope.
Yeah. It could happen. It could happen.
It is possible, as you said, that 2 and 4 spot, and anything can happen there. But yeah, Camila is definitely a great player that's worthy of that top 4 spot, and Cameron Brink surely stamped herself as a top 2 prospect as well. So we'll see how that plays out. But we'll love to see Angel here if we could. So yeah, we'll see about it. As you said here, they have Angel at the 7th spot going to Minnesota potentially, amongst others. So we'll see that anyway in the next 2 weeks because the WNBA draft moves quick following college basketball.
Yeah.
But we'll see if she can jump up any kind of way to potentially get to LA instead of one of these other teams. So yeah, we'll stay tuned. But yeah, salute to Angel Reese and what she's doing. I guess to the point of having Cameron Brink and Camila, what do you think of getting 2 of those 2 stars in LA instead of Angel for our Sparks going forward?
And getting some twin towers in there. They already have. Is it Chene? It's one of the Ogumekes. I forget which sister it is on the Sparks, but they have some size in there and some talent in there already. But I mean, why not add 2 other great players?
For a reason, they saw the talent there and wanted to keep stacking. So if that's the role, if that's the way they want to go about it, I'm all for it. And yeah, I think that's a great call. And both of them pieces surely will get put to good use. So
right, and they got Lexi Brown. They got Lexi Brown like at the guard spot as well, holding it down. And so yeah, bringing in a couple bigs, talented, skilled bigs, good defensively as well. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think it's a good call. And yeah, we'll be tuned into it all and we'll be able to react to it as the draft happens in a couple of weeks and the season gets going soon after that as well. So yeah, we'll be back talking about women's the WNBA and what's going on there. And yeah, just looking forward to all that's going on over there. So good stuff in that regard. Any other comments about the tourney? Anything you want to make real quick?
About the tourney.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we of course we were rooting to kind of see the Caitlyn versus Juju match, like the future versus the like the right now in Caitlyn, but
Right.
I think it's still going to be a great matchup between Paige and Caitlyn. Paige kind of reminded people like I'm still here. She had a great performance in her own right against USC.
Gino kept saying she's the best still, and people were
Yeah,
kind of
and
scoffing
she
at
backed
it.
it up. She was backing it up.
For sure.
So I'm excited for this this Final Four for sure. I think we got a double NC State Final Four, correct? Because the men NC State also in there too. So salute to NC State.
Yeah.
But this is going to be some exciting matchups for sure. It feels like South Carolina is primed to get back to the top, but I'm really intrigued by that Caitlyn versus Paige matchup, especially because Caitlyn kind of got passed over by UConn and Gino.
Right.
So she wants to unleash the 50 clip on him. So that's gonna be a fun.
She's been on her revenge tour all season and continues to take names and check boxes. So yeah, we'll see what she does versus UConn. Surely gonna be a fun matchup. And yeah, just excited to see how this thing finishes up. To the point about NC State, I think I'm gonna ask you off air. But is North Carolina low key the best basketball state right now?
Yeah, we've
always known about Duke in North Carolina on the men's side, but both women's teams are turning up. NC State is now turning up. Going to the pros, Charlotte ain't the best squad, but no. I think college teams have enough success to make that case as that is really where the best basketball is playing in the country right now. Any thought on that?
Yeah, the Hornets might be tanking that a little bit. Like the other place that pops into mind, of course, is LA between Lakers, Clippers. We just saw these women's teams as we talked about the USC and UCLA, but then the men's kind of weren't up to par this year. So that's that. And then of course there's a whole lot of New York schools, and greater like tri-state area schools and that kind of thing, and the New York teams and the Knicks and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised because NC State hasn't been like a powerhouse of basketball in recent years. So to see them both in the Final Four, and of course UConn as well. We got two schools that have both men and women in the Final Four. So that's pretty cool. We got some powerhouses there, and attendance is probably going to go up at some of these schools as well too in the future. But yeah, North Carolina making a claim as one of the better basketball areas for sure.
We talked about Arizona a lot, and we talked about how we went there. Did the basketball team and the success of the sports squad matter to you when you made your school decision, or you just went for your own reasons?
Basketball mattered a little bit. I think actually football mattered to me kind of, and we were coming off like good seasons, with like Scooby Wright. And,
I get to watch a good team. All right, I'm in
exactly.
there.
And then as soon as we got there, it just hit the downturn. But yeah, I feel like it was more like I wanted a school that had like a decent football team and that we could go to those games, that kind of thing. But of course, we got McHale Center and that program history, and it was Sean Miller back in those days who was pumping out good teams year in and year out. But we just could not get into that Final Four. We could not get over the hump. And Tommy Lloyd, man, he's under surveillance too.
Man. Oh, well, yeah, definitely under surveillance. We'll keep a close eye on Arizona as things play out. May not think about it too much on here. This is the LA show, but we'll sneak into conversation when we can. And salute to them a little bit for what they are trying to do over there. But yeah, I think having a good sports squad back to our UConn and all that point definitely goes a long way for kids. And yeah, we should see folks kind of rushing to Carolina over the next couple of years to want to continue to see the greatness that's going on there. And South Carolina's team doing what they're doing also. So yeah, a lot of great stuff there. Salute to all of them for what they're doing. And we'll be back to talk about the championship after that is finalized as well. So yeah, a lot of good stuff going on in all the basketball world. We'll continue to talk about it all as it plays out. Make sure to subscribe to LA Sports Report for a lot of great content. And we'll be back, as I said, once this all is wrapped up. So good stuff on that front. Going to the football side, we got some news finally. Stephon Diggs out of nowhere, or somewhat out of nowhere, got traded to the Texans in the last day for I think it was a second round pick. The Texans also got multiple picks back in that later round in the draft themselves, but definitely was a big move nonetheless. What are your thoughts on Stephon finally getting away from Josh Allen and those Buffalo Bills?
Hey, CJ Stroud might be like a top 3 quarterback pick in the fantasy drafts this year. Just man,
it's nasty.
He's got some weapons for sure. He
Yep.
already had weapons in Nico and Tank and Schultz already,
Right.
but yeah, bringing in Mixon already, and then bringing in Stephon via trade, man, they look nice. They look nice offensively for sure, and their defense had kind of improved towards the end of the year too, with Stingley back there and others. So yeah,
Right.
I think they're going to be a formidable team in that AFC South for sure. Uh, the Buffalo Bills, they might need one of us, as we joke, they might need one of us to suit up and play wide receiver.
It was a good run.
I'm sure that's a position they're going to be targeting in the draft if they can. I don't know where they're picking at in the draft, but they're gonna need to bring in some weapons for Josh Allen, because right now it's Curtis Samuel and
Yeah.
Shakir, and they don't even have Gabe Davis anymore. I don't know who the third guy is now, but
yeah, they need
they
somebody.
need to bring in somebody for sure.
I will say this is the right draft to reset your wide receivers. There are a lot of good pieces there, but not have your lead guy alongside them and Stephon Diggs, who was the clear go-to for Josh Allen for a while, is going to have a big impact either way. So yeah, I think it opens the door in the AFC for a lot of teams trying to get to our LA squads. Opens the door potentially for our Chargers, who are rebuilding themselves. You think the Chargers take advantage of that door being open, or you think that's for somebody else to kind of run through this year?
I don't really think it opened anything. It went to another AFC team, so
they're over there. So
what are you saying?
I'm just saying, can the Chargers take advantage of? Can the Chargers take the Bills spot essentially as one of the top teams in the AFC?
Oh, I don't think that happens this year. I think within the next couple of years they potentially can. Because Chargers are in a similar spot as the Bills, where their top wide receivers are like wide receiver 3s. So they're in a spot where they need to improve via the draft, and I believe they will. But one point too that I don't want to forget is the second half of the season, Stephon Diggs wasn't really playing great football either. I think he is still capable, but don't want to forget that he was the number 1 option for the Bills, and he was not producing.
He dropped that ball in that playoff game against the Chiefs as well. That could have helped them get over the hump as well. He ain't had the best end of the season. He himself might say he didn't want to be there for whatever reasons, but you're in the playoffs versus the Chiefs, so make the cut.
Right.
So, really care. But either way, he had his reasons. He had his struggles, and we'll see if those carry over to the point about the squad that the Texans have. I think even he does have his struggles again. I think the Texans have room to pass it over to Nico instead, pass it to Tank Dell, and still keep things rolling. So not quite the same thing as the Texans or the Bills squad.
They got options.
Stephon's not playing well, it all falls apart. So yeah, I think the Texans will be fine, whether he's cooking up as he is or not.
Yeah, but in terms of the Chargers question, definitely gonna have to see post draft and give our analysis then. Like we talked about, we like the moves that they were making. Obviously, they're seeking to get younger and moving away from Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, but they're gonna need to replace them in some form or fashion because Herbert's gonna need some targets to throw to. That are capable, because the AFC is loaded. Like you said, the Bills maybe got a little bit worse today, but the Texans got better, and there's plenty of other AFC teams that are going to be tough matchups. Teams that are going to get better. Like we talked about, like the Jets have made several moves like this offseason and are getting Rodgers back, and they weren't even a factor come playoff time last year. That's a couple other teams that are going to be in the hunt that they're going to have to fight up against. So I don't think the Chargers are a playoff team this year, but I think they're building something, and we should expect them in the next couple of years to have the framework for a team that can make runs finally
sure.
in the playoffs.
Yeah, gotta get moving in the right direction for sure. The draft will be a large step in that, and we'll have more to say once that happens, as you pointed out. But yeah, I do want to see this team have some real success and be the team that we waited our whole lives to see them finally fully achieve. So yeah, we'll see if Harbaugh can get them in the right spot. I will see if they see openings with teams like the Bills potentially falling, and if they can take advantage of that in any kind of way, or even just show that they are moving to potentially take that step to be a squad like them in the next year or so, and we'd love to see it. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on them on that side. Who do a team that is somewhat a little bit more in contention, the Rams and what's going on their side of things. While the offense can keep up with a team like Houston, the defense is still finding its way. Do you think that the Rams have enough defensively to hold off some of these new high-powered offenses that are now being put together across the league?
No. The short answer, no. I do not think they have it. Kobe Turner, of course, was great. Aaron Donald was the anchor of that defense, and he's retired and gone now. So it's going to be tough to fill that hole and fill those shoes. Obviously, going to have to target some guys in the draft there too. Brought in a couple guys already. Like we talked about the corner. I'm blanking on his name, who we brought in as well. But I don't think this defense. Like I think Aaron Donald was really like masking some of the issues that we had defensively and with the pressure that he can create because the secondary did struggle against teams. So not having that elite rusher and pressure maker, I think it's going to be tough on this Rams defense. The offense can keep up with teams though, so I think it's probably going to fall a little bit more on the offense to just keep up with teams.
All right.
But yeah, short answer, no, with the Rams defense.
Short answer, no. You kind of answered it with the offense. You think we have enough offense to keep up with whoever is on the opposite side this year?
I do, and I think they can find another hidden gem too, as they have been able to in fifth rounds and that kind of thing. I think they'll find another piece to add to it. I like I said, bringing in Jonah Jackson at guard for the offensive line as well. So I think Stafford, as long as what's Stafford's wife's name? Kelly. As long as Kelly Stafford is not convincing him to retire, I think we'll be fine on the offensive side.
Please, Kelly, not right now.
Yeah, not yet. Just give us one more year.
Help us out.
But yeah, other than that, I think the offense will be solid because you're getting more experience like Puka Nacua, who was already great, sensational in his rookie season, and you're getting more from Kyron Williams, and I think you're getting a healthier Cooper Kupp as well. So I think they'll be fine on that end.
Yeah, agree with you there. We'll continue to see how they hold up. I will have a lot more to say after the draft, as I noted with the Chargers as well. But yeah, I do think that the Rams are in a good position to, in the AFC, make another sneaky run. And they've been quiet again this offseason, as I hope they would be. And I hope we'll see if they can sneak them on folks and take advantage of the success they had last year and continue to build in the right way. So yeah, excited for what's going to go on the football side. Looking forward to the season getting back. I always love talking about football, and it's going to be a fun season coming up next year for sure. And yeah, we'll have a lot more to say as the offseason goes on. So yeah, good stuff with them. Any other comment, info-wise, you wanted to make?
I don't think so. I was just thinking about because the question you asked as far as the AFC and the Chargers, like there's a couple teams, like I mentioned the Jets. I think the Bengals are going to be back in better, like healthy Joe Burrow. Even in that division, like the Steelers will be probably slightly better. Like that division's a bloodbath there. Right. The Browns are going to be good, I'm sure too. The Colts are going to get back Anthony Richardson. I don't know if they'll fight for playoffs, but they'll probably be better if he's healthy. Right. And they brought back a lot of their key contributors. That's pretty much all they did this offseason was re-sign guys.
Yeah.
So like I think the AFC is going to have some of the same tough opponents. Like the Dolphins will still be there too. Obviously, the Chiefs.
Right.
And so like I think it's still going to be tough, like for the Chargers to get back in playoff range, but better days are ahead, I think.
Better days ahead for both squads. Trying to be optimistic for it all. Hopefully they have the same mindsets and continue to build in the right way as the offseason goes on and the seasons play out, as we'll talk about as it happens. So yeah, there's a lot of good things to look forward to this season. Excited for the NFL. Surely fantasy wise, it's gonna be a mess. We talked about with CJ potentially being a top pick. And looking forward to all that is going to be going on. So good stuff with them. We'll have more conversations, as we mentioned, post-draft and all of that. But for now, that is it. As we mentioned, for each segment, Make sure you're following us on LA Sports Report. Subscribe to the show if you're new here. Appreciate y'all. And we'll be back each week with more LA content for you as things play out. So good stuff on that front. Now we've covered basketball, we've covered football, covered the women's side, what's going on all across the board there. The last thing of note, most importantly, for a lot of folks here in LA right now, is the Dodgers and what's going on with them. The Dodgers are playing well, off to a nice 6-2 start. And Alec, you've been following them and excited for how things have been playing out so far. What are your first thoughts on the Dodgers' hot start this season?
Yeah, been off to a blistering start, man. 6-2, going on 7-2 right now. They're playing the Giants up 4-1 in the top of the sixth. Mookie Betts, I'm glad you have him pictured here. Man, he has been on a tear to start this season, man. I think he's got 5 home runs already, and he's just been mashing baseballs. I think he was hitting over 600. Let me see what his average is looking at right now. He's hitting 500 on the season right now. He's got crazy stats, and he's playing like the MVP of the league right now. So it's been great to see, as much as Ohtani has been the guy that we talked about all offseason, as he is a massive acquisition for this Dodgers team. Mookie is like, don't forget about me, man. I can still play a little bit.
Mookie, like, hey, what you doing, bro? You taking my shine. What's going on here, bro? I'll be the star. What happened? What you doing?
Mookie's like, I can still swing it a little bit too, and he's playing one of the more difficult positions in baseball. He's playing the shortstop position for us, and playing it well. So he's been sensational. I'm sure he's on a mission, just how he kind of went out in the playoffs last year, and not getting a hit in that first round series. I know he wants to bounce back in a major way, and plays at an MVP level. So it's been great to see on that end of the spectrum, and then the pitching rotation has been great too so far. Yamamoto kind of worked out the kinks that he had in Korea and had a good start in his first Dodger Stadium debut. Guys are playing well. I think they've had 5 runs or more in all of their games so far, even in the losses. So that's great to see. They're putting runs on the board at a high clip. And each broadcast has talked about it on each game, that there's really like no holes in this lineup. Like 1 through 9, there's not really a guy that you can look over if you're pitching to this Dodgers lineup. Like from Mookie Betts to Gavin Lux in the 9 hole, like you got to be aware when you're throwing balls and strikes, because these guys can put the ball in play and can put runs on the board quickly, and there's no breathers. So it's been great to see. I love that 1-2-3 punch in Mookie, Ohtani, and Freddie. And Ohtani hasn't even really started hitting yet. He doesn't have a home run yet. He's hitting like 260. He hasn't really shown us the pop yet, but once he gets going too, it's going to be a light show at Chavez Ravine. So it's been exciting so far.
Yeah, so that guy get a little bit more tapped in what's going on there. I keep saying every year I want to tap in, and the season starts. I'm like, oh wait, basketball, football's happening. There's a lot going on, but I will for sure make sure I stay tapped into what's going on with the Dodgers. As you kind of said, we don't want to pit nobody against each other on the same squad, and want to see them all clicking. Could you say that Mookie is most essential for the Dodgers' success in the long run, with his ability to move around on the defensive side, and then his bat as he connects at times as he does?
You could argue it, especially this year, just with Ohtani being a DH and not pitching. I think once Ohtani is a pitcher as well, he's easily the most valuable, because he's bringing you both sides of the ball at an elite level. But Mookie playing shortstop, that key position for us, and then also hitting at an MVP level. I mean, he could be the MVP of the season. Like, there's between him, Freddie Freeman, I'm sure, is going to put together MVP like stretches as well. Like both Freddie and Mookie were in top 5 in MVP voting last year. So all they did was add another MVP type guy to it. Three guys that could fight to be top 5 in MVP as well. So very easily, it could be anyone on any given night, just because of how good this lineup is. But Mookie very easily could be the most valuable player for this Dodgers team.
Okay, so yeah, I'll tune in. Still gotta get a Mookie jersey at some point. I'm excited to support this Dodgers squad as things play out, and hoping for the best during this whole season that's going to be going on. So yeah, a lot of good stuff there. Love the hot start that they're off to. And any other comment about the Dodgers right now you want to make as you get out of here?
No, you brought up the NL West here. I think it's going to be competitive. At least the top two. I mean, because the Diamondbacks coming off that kind of World Series run.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a little bit more competitive than it looks right now. Obviously, like you see the Giants at 2-4. Like I think they're going to be a little bit better than that. The Rockies are kind of like the stepchild or whatever. Like I don't think they're going to be in contention. You don't even have them on the picture right here. But I think the Dodgers are the clear cream of the crop in the West. I think their over under for wins and losses was like 103.5 wins. I think they can hit that over just with how good this offense is and with the pitching. Like we've seen good starts out of Glass now, out of Yamamoto, out of Paxton the other night, and then some of the young pitchers as well have stepped in and thrown a couple good innings. But we're gonna get Walker Buehler back sooner rather than later off the IL, hopefully at the end of April. So adding him to the rotation going to be great, and then Clayton Kershaw hopefully midway through the season as well. So it could be a dangerous pitching rotation as well. You could have 4 or 5 really rock solid starters for this team. So I think they are definitely poised to have another NL West pennant and poised to have another really successful regular season. Yeah.
Got it. I was trying to, as you were talking about that, I was trying to see if I can pull up any highlights from tonight, but it seems like the Dodgers are rolling yet again as they've been. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on with them right now. I would love to see the more pieces continue to get added into the mix as the season plays out, and looking forward to how they continue to help us roll and make another great season happen. And yeah, we'll continue to react as things play out. As you guys saw a couple times or a couple weeks ago, we had our guy Noel join the pod, and he was the one talking about Dodgers a whole lot. We'll have to bring him back on to have more of these conversations as things play out. So stay tuned with that as the season goes along. So go ahead.
One other guy I wanted to mention too was Teoscar Hernandez. Like he's been mashing the ball as well too. He's got 4 or 5 home runs on the year. Yeah, he's got 4 on the year, and he's been great. He was a nice acquisition in the offseason coming from Seattle. And there was like some questions whether or not like we paid him too much. I think we paid him about $18 million for 1 year, but he's already kind of put those questions to bed because he's already been huge in driving in runs for us via the long ball. So he's been great, immediately making himself a fan favorite. I was saying on Twitter, like, we need a nickname for this man because Teoscar is a great name, but I need a nickname. I need something catchy for him. But yeah, he's been great too.
Public call out for that. We'll see what fans have to say about it. I'm sure we'll put one together for him as the season plays out and keeps on doing his thing. So yeah, glad that everybody's putting together things as they need to. Great to see everybody click in for the most part. We'll love to see Shohei really get his bat going as it needs to as things continue to go on. And yeah, just a good spot to be in for Dodgers fans and the Dodgers themselves as they're off to a good start this year. So yeah, a lot of good stuff there. Appreciate just what they have in motion so far, and looking forward to another fun season. So yeah, that's all I got right now.
Yeah.
So cool. That is it then in regards to all the main topics for the show. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as you guys do. For those just watching for the Dodgers portion, make sure you're following us on LA Sports Report. A lot of stuff coming to you guys each week. Make sure you like the show, make sure you subscribe to the show, and we'll be back each week to talk more about what's going on across the city. So good stuff with all of that. Lastly, as we do to end each stream, for those watching live right now, go ahead and jump into one of these hoop grids, and we'll call it a day. So let's see what the grid is for us on this fun.
We doing connections or I called game?
Yeah, let me see. Hoop grid connections.
One of these days, we might need Matt to come on to help me with it, but we've got to do a baseball grids or one of those.
We still got to make our own too. We still got to make our own.
Oh yeah.
But here is these out the way. Here is the grid for the day.
Those connections, okay.
Yeah, the connections for the day. Jason Kidd, Wes Matthews, Dorian Finney-Smith, Monte Ellis, J.J. Redick, Vince Carter, Corey Brewer, Luka Doncic, Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleber, Chandler Parsons, Sean Bradley, Jason Terry.
A lot of whites on this picture, man.
Yeah. It's created by Mavs Muse, so that explains it. A Mavs guy put this all together, so that gives us a hint for what some of the things might be. Oh, and then also Detlef Schrempf was the last guy I forgot to mention, but yeah,
I think all these guys were on the Mavericks at one point.
At some point,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
So what the mix is going to be, JJ played with Luka, and then who else was on that squad?
Do we have? I see 2 Duke guys. I don't know if that is anything else, but I don't know if there's any more.
Duke. Did Dwight go to Duke?
No. Who was I thinking?
No?
Oh no, he wasn't Duke. He was North Carolina. Vince Carter.
Mm-hmm. Jason Tatum went to Arizona.
Yeah, Parsons is Florida.
Yeah, I don't think this is a
So there's no college connection. I don't see.
I always do positions first.
Yeah.
Terry's a point guard. Luka's a point guard. J Kidd's a point guard.
Terry's kind of a shooting guard.
But so is Monte Ellis. So I'll just try that. Nope. All right.
Let's see. There's older guys here, so Sean Bradley and Detlef. I guess Kidd would be kind of an older one too.
He didn't play with them though.
No. Well, there's probably like slight overlap with.
And I'm sure this is Mavs news. There's gonna be some weird connections with this. I'm sure. It's gonna be something dumb.
It's hard because they're all Mavericks. Like there's probably not really like a Mavericks connection.
Well, is Dorian on there right now?
No, he's on the Nets. He got traded from there. Corey Brewer.
Did Wes Matthews get traded by the Mavs?
Probably, yeah. Where's Wes Matthews now? I think they're all on their current team. Like, I think he's on the. Is he on the Bucks? Wes Matthews.
He's on the Bucks right now, I believe.
Yeah.
Is Chandler Parsons? Did he get traded by the Mavs?
I think he got traded to the Mavs. Yeah, like from the Rockets. Yeah.
Jason Kidd, his final team was the Mavs, I believe. So he retired from there. Dwight, he's still there. Maxey is still there. Yeah, I was trying to get traded from the Mavericks to somewhere.
I was say, is there like a 6-man thing? Like Monte Ellis. Who else was I looking at? Jason Terry.
Jason Terry.
I don't know that anyone else was like a 6-man.
Would that be Wes? And then
there was no way he was 6-man. Wes Matthews
on that squad, because wasn't that the Brunson year? So wouldn't he have been the 6-man? Because wasn't it Brunson, Luka, and
but Wes Matthews isn't really like he's like a 3-and-D guy. Like those guys aren't really, like 6-man.
Yeah. All right. We gotta use hints.
Do I hint? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We'll go silver, small hint. Kamen, Detlef Shrimp. That doesn't help. Sean Bradley maybe is go with the big. Yeah. And Dwight centers for the one away. Detlef Kleber. It was players from Germany.
Oh, Germany. Huh.
All right.
I don't think I knew that about like Kamen.
Yeah, we'll take that though. All right, 3 rows to go. Kidd, Matthews, Finney-Smith, and Ellis. Has everyone like also played with Dirk? Like Terry played with Dirk. Well, a few of them did. That'd be more than just. Yeah, that wouldn't work.
That's true. I know Kidd has won a championship. Is anyone else here? Probably not, huh? Well, Terry has.
Terry's won a championship. Did Wes win a championship?
Was he on that Lakers team? No. The bubble team?
He's been on a few squads though that have been good. Was he on the Bucks squad that won?
Could have been on one of either that Lakers or the Bucks team. Yeah.
On the Lakers or the Bucks team that won potentially. And then Finney-Smith didn't win.
I don't think he's winning anything.
Did Corey Brewer get one?
I don't think so. David Lee maybe, like that first Warriors one.
Oh, that Warriors one?
Yeah.
Championship player?
Nah.
Nope.
Luka. I'm like trying to think, what would the Luka connection be with other guys? Are there other like top? Because Luka was third pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are there other like top 5 picks?
Top 5 pick. Oh, was Vince? I think Vince was later, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was kind of later too. Yeah. Okay. There's a couple of former Warriors, but I don't know if there's 4. Like I see Monte, David Lee, but I don't think there's any other former Warriors.
Nope. All right, taking too long. Another hint. Silver. All right. Kid, Terry. Were they all on that championship squad? Is that what that might be? Was Parsons on that squad?
Parsons ain't win nothing.
Who was on that squad is all I'm trying to say.
Parsons is just an elite finesser, bag getter.
I know elite finesser. I thought that was the ring. I don't know. I don't think Monte was on that squad.
No. Yeah, I don't think Monte got a ring. Kid, Terry. Like they were both on the championship team that beat LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
But no one else was
there.
No.
He wasn't on that team?
No. Kid and Terry. Because it's like 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe like Monte and Brewer or Monte and Lee.
It's not one away. Just for the sake of it. Nope. All right.
Hint time?
Yeah. Kid and Terry's one.
Big hint time?
Yeah.
I think we just get small hint.
Let's go for the top dog. Forget it. Players with 200 steals as a Maverick. Yeah, William got that.
Steals, okay. So Kid.
Oh, so it's that Kid, Terry. Who's been there for a while to get 200 steals?
Steals.
Luka's not a steals guy.
I would say Wes Matthews.
200 steals?
And maybe Luka.
Nope, not one away either.
So maybe, I guess you'd have to play there for a little bit, huh? Maybe, I don't remember Brewer being on the Mavericks that long.
I don't think he was that long either, but he low-key was a stats guy. He would sneak and rack up stats like that, so it's possible.
Maybe like JJ? How long was JJ there? Like not that long either, though.
That was like one season also, but it is one away.
One away.
So maybe it's Corey. I already guessed that. Dwight's been there for. Is it possible with how long he's been there has got 200 steals? He's been there for like 4 or 5 seasons, right?
Maybe, yeah. I don't think he steals a whole lot, but with the course he's been there.
All right, no, it's not one away.
With Redick, it was one away, right?
Oh, then that was who it was. So Redick and Finney Smith, one away. All right. Give us another big hint for gold. NBA players in the top 20 and 3-pointers made all time. Okay.
Okay. JJ
so
Redick.
This. Oh, wait. For top all time. Wait.
All time?
Isn't Vince up there for a while, low-key?
He might be, because he played a lot of seasons.
Bang. Okay. Yeah. And then what was the other one? I think it said what?
It was steals, right?
Steals is a Maverick. 200 steals. Or NBA player with 200 steals as a Maverick.
So the longest tenured Mavericks. So probably Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Dwight Powell, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Probably Finney Smith wasn't there a long time. How long
was
Monte
defense, though?
Yeah.
And then Monte, maybe.
How long was Monte there? Maybe Monte, though.
One away. So maybe not Monte. Maybe it's Corey. Nope. So maybe it. Oh, wait.
That got farther away. Yeah. So.
Okay. Let's just keep guessing. Right. On the clock. David Lee. No. Okay. So it's Bless. All right. Well, that, and then this. Any guess on the category?
Let's see.
Finney
DFS,
Smith.
Brewer, Parsons, Lee. No, you got two 3-and-D guys. You got one power forward.
That's okay. We'll take this out the way.
I don't know what the connection would be. Did all these? No, I was gonna say, did all of them have like a? I don't remember. Like, didn't Corey Brewer have like a random like 50-point game or something? Like, I was like, did all of them have like a random like 40-point game or something?
40+ points as a math, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I have no idea what the category.
Right, whatever. Florida.
Oh, it was the College State Florida. I only knew that Parsons went to Florida, though. I didn't know.
Whatever. So that was that. Going to the actual grid for the day, we have an all Pelicans. This screen don't exactly work for streaming, but whatever. All Pelicans stream. I don't know if you want to do this one. Pelicans. So you
I'm good. I'm good off that. We can do I Call It Game though if you want to do that.
I Call It Game. So for that,
I'm not trying to do Najee Marshall teammate.
So we have the Spurs versus the Rocket, or not the Rocket, the Raptors. My God.
We probably got to move back to the side for this one.
Yeah. All right. I was trying to do different camera angles, see how that works.
Flip it.
Yeah. Let's go back to this. All right. So, where am I at? All right. There we go.
Raptors and Spurs.
Spurs are the home team. Raptors are the away team. Bang. The year, DeMar DeRozan's right there.
Yeah.
Is that Aldridge? No, not Aldridge. Who is this right here? 12?
Oh, that's Rudy Gay. Looks like 22.
Rudy Gay. Yeah. Who is this?
I can't tell. That could be Aldridge. I can't tell, though.
Ibaka. Is that Danny Green?
Is Derek White maybe on these Spurs? I don't know if he's in the league.
Possibly. We haven't got any new pictures yet to help us out.
Right.
But that would have to be.
Well, if DeRozan's there, it's like something like 2017?
2017, because the Raptors won 2018.
Raptors won in 2019 with Kawhi. So either 2017 or 2018 for DeRozan.
2017.
Well, let's see. Because he was traded. Yeah, he was traded from Toronto to there, right? Yeah. So
right. 2018, final answer?
2019.
2019.
Because he was traded, right?
That seems late, but all right, there you go. January 3rd, 2019. Got it. Bang. First try. Game type, January 3rd, regular season game.
Had to be.
Coaches. We still haven't got a new picture, so that's not helping. But for one, Pop's always there. So Pop.
Right. Pop. And then is it still Nick Nurse at this time? 2019. Yeah, because he was the coach when they won, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Nurse. Or no, was that the year? Because who was the coach that got fired before him?
Casey, but Casey didn't win a finals though.
Yeah, but wasn't that
he got fired? He got fired after winning Coach of the Year, whatever.
Well, was Casey first, then Nurse, or was Nurse first, then Casey?
Casey was before Nurse.
So it's not Casey right now?
No, it should be Nurse because this is the year they won, 2019.
Oh, all right. There you go. Players, is that Bertans?
Yeah, that is. Davis Bertans.
Davis Bertans. Is that
he does not look like a Davis.
All right. Who is this right here?
That's Aldridge, yeah.
That is Aldridge? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was over there. Aldridge.
DeRozan.
That's DeMar.
The more I say it, the less I like it.
Derek White right there.
Probably Derek White, 2019. He's probably in the league, right?
Yeah, he's been there since 2017. Yeah. All right. Any more help with this?
Danny Green,
that Corey
right? He's probably on one of these teams. If it's not one, it's the other.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
wow. Maybe he's on Indiana at this point. Danny Green, we said, right?
Oh, I thought he was on the
2019. He was on the Raptors team that won, huh?
Right. Yeah, he got traded. Oh, never mind. All right. Derek White. Oh, Rudy Gay, you said.
Yeah, Rudy Gay. This is 2019. Who's still on the Spurs? 2019. Is DeJounte Murray there?
That's a good call. DeJounte. Nope, he didn't play. All right, well, going to the Raptors side.
Kawhi, Lowry, Van Vliet.
Dang, they were stacked.
That's a good team. Good team.
Ibaka,
yeah. Norman Powell.
Siakam.
Yeah, Siakam.
Dang.
And Norman Powell.
And Powell, too. All over there.
Yeah, Marcus All. He was there.
I guess not.
He probably didn't play, but yeah. Who else was on that team?
Yeah. Oh no, never mind. I'm like, damn, we had OG over there too. Or maybe he was over there. Was OG over there?
I think he might have been. Yeah.
O.G. Yeah. Dang. All right. Who else do they have over there?
we rewrite the history. Like, this team was too.
Oh, they won. Chicken ass team.
It was a good team. It was a good team. You needed that to beat the freaking Avengers Warriors.
Porter was on one of these teams, wasn't he?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Spurs.
Yeah, he had to be on one of them. Yeah. Only two teams he played.
That's 13. We need one more.
Okay.
DeJounte.
Is Patrick McCaw on the Raptors? Because he had that like three in a row stretch.
Right.
I don't know if he played though. He probably didn't play. Yeah. Into the bench.
What other vets were on the Spurs at this time? Tony was gone. This isn't the Manu year. Manu was gone at that point. Yeah. Boris Diaw was gone, I think.
He's gone, yeah. Who else would be on that team? Oh, Patty Mills?
Oh, Patty Mills. That's a good one. Bang. All right. 14. 7, 14. What's that get?
Okay.
Is that everybody? What? Oh.
See all players.
All right. I was like, did I miss it? All right.
Oh,
Bryn, Marco.
Lonnie, okay.
I might could have got Lonnie if I thought hard enough.
Definitely wouldn't have got Quincy.
Yeah, I wasn't getting Quincy though.
or Dante, respectfully.
Right. Chris Boucher, if I thought hard enough, maybe. Greg Monroe. Maybe actually I remember Greg Monroe. I didn't realize he was on that team.
DeLon Wright.
CJ Miles.
Respectfully, Lorenzo.
Yeah.
We're not thinking of you.
If you got a ring, salute to you. But I ain't got nothing else to say. Top scorer in this game, January.
Is it a close one? No, San Antonio was blowing them out. I don't know if they got
player who scored the most in this game. It's got to be DeMar Kawhi is easy answer.
Well, if San Antonio, it looks like they probably won, so maybe a San Antonio player, maybe DeRozan.
Nope.
Would you go to LaMarcus after that?
LaMarcus? Yeah, there you go. Cool. 80%.
Not bad.
Good dub. We will take it. Good victory today.
We're hitting the connections.
Yeah, the real connections to end the stream.
We got it last time.
Did I play it today already, low-key?
Oh, you be playing them?
In the gym sometimes when I be on the bike, riding the bike and all that, I just be on there. That's how I help pass the time on the treadmill and all that. I mean, I didn't get this one though, and I don't remember what I did. No, I don't think I did this. All right, so mass, marry, normal, wash.
It's not on the screen.
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
Mass, marry, normal, wash, standard, dry, yardstick, fold, oily, check, gauge, combination, call, Kent, benchmark, and bet.
Okay.
4 mistakes. Here we go. Any first thoughts as you take a look?
Like some words stuck out. I like see like maybe 3 close to each other. Like
mass, marry. No.
I was thinking like normal, standard.
Normal, standard.
Like benchmark.
Benchmark.
I'm not sure what the fourth would be with that.
Normal, standard. Benchmark.
Gauge.
Gauge, maybe bet. Or not bet. Yeah, gauge. Yeah.
But like I also see like gauge could go with like check.
Normal, standard, benchmark, yardstick. Does that make sense?
Yardstick. I don't know if that makes sense with the other 3. Yardstick. What else could yardstick go with?
I don't know. That's why I wanted to.
Like wash and dry. Like obviously, like wash, dry, fold.
Wash, dry, fold.
But like, what would the fourth be?
Combination.
Combination.
Wash and dry. I don't know.
Usually one of these has like one of those where like all 4 of the words like go with one other word, you know, like
mass, marry. You know what I'm trying to get here, go with here?
Like,
some kind of like
Catholic kind of
Catholic
thing.
Something. Mass, marry, Kent.
What is Kent?
I don't know, dude. I was just trying to figure out what Kent goes with. Don't they have Lent? No, is that
Lent?
thing?
Yes, Lent. Yeah, that's part of Easter. But Kent, I don't know.
Being the Kent also. I'm spitballing here, man.
Oh my god. Like oily and like gauge, like stuff like related to cars, kind of reminded me of like
oily, gauge.
Like check too. Like I see 3 words that could go together, but not 4.
Wash, dry, fold.
I see 3 for like bet it, like poker, like call, fold, bet.
Normal. Benchmark. I say yardstick.
You can try it.
No.
Is it
went away?
No, went away. Okay.
But
so what I was asking as far as the card game, like I know call, bet, and fold are part of card games. Is wash one?
Call, bet, fold. Call, bet, fold, check.
I don't know. I don't know if check is a part of like betting or like gambling at all. Check.
I might guess. Call, check.
Is wash one? Do you know? Like,
I think it can be as well. I forgot the exact meaning of it, but I think that is also.
Do you think like call, check, bet, and fold?
Call, check, bet, and fold. That?
We could try that.
Bang. Yep. Poker action. There you go.
There you go.
Okay. So I'm still somewhat in line here. Mass, marry.
He said Kent. I don't know. I don't know what Kent. You
want to
just look up? You want to just look up Kent? I know like Kent State as a school, but I don't know other than that.
Kent State is where? Do you know?
I don't know. We can look that up.
Is that Kentucky?
It's in Ohio. It's in Kent, Ohio. So Kent's a city.
Because low key, I feel like that's stupid, but
so like for like laundry, like standard, dry, and wash are like settings. I don't know if like would normal go with that?
Standard, dry, wash.
I don't know if normal goes with that.
No.
Gauge.
Maybe gauge. Or even oily, maybe, because you're washing. I don't know, dog.
I don't know if oily goes with them.
But I asked about Kent. You said I forgot how we got there. We got to Kent State somehow.
Yeah,
I was in Kentucky.
It's in Ohio though.
Yeah. It's not, but Kentucky came to mind because it said Kent, right?
Yeah.
So you have Kentucky. Then you have Maryland, right?
Yeah.
And then you have
like Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Is that what you're trying to do? Like the beginning of?
Because you know it's the dumb. But I don't know what the last one would be. That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that because you can say like Washington or something, but
Washington. Why is it not Washington?
You can try
Maryland, Kentucky, Massachusetts.
You can try it. I'm willing to waste a guess on it. Could be right.
Wash, dry, standard, oily. Wash, dry, standard, gauge. Wash.
Yardstick throwing me off. I don't know what.
Yeah. All right. We got 3. I'm trying this.
You try it.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on now. I think like them. I can tap in. All right.
There we go. We got 3 guesses left. We're doing well.
Oily. All right. What did I say before? I said something with yardstick before. I think I said yeah, it was
maybe like standard benchmark yardstick,
normal,
and yardstick.
And then it's oily, dry, gauge. That doesn't make sense.
Like, because both those things can kind of refer to cars in terms of like oily, gauge,
but not combination.
I don't know about dry or combination though. Yeah.
Okay. Benchmark.
That makes the most sense though, right? Benchmark, standard.
We have 3 guesses.
Normal.
We have 3 guesses, so we can waste one and see how far off we are.
Yeah, let's do benchmark, standard, normal, and
yardstick.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Where you guessed it?
What is it?
Where you guessed it?
That's what it said.
Yeah, that was our first miss.
Oh, okay. But it didn't say one. It didn't say one away.
No, it said already guessed.
Oh, okay.
Great. After all that time, we forgot we already guessed. That was already our first guess. So now we're stuck, and we don't know if it's one away or not. All right. Okay. So let's see. Benchmark, standard. Benchmark. Okay, let's flip that. Combination. Well, let's just try the flip of it. We said combination. Oh, wait, no, because we already did. That'd be a waste because we already said that was wrong. So a flip of that would be benchmark, standard, normal. And it's not combination. So maybe it's or it's not yardstick.
Yeah.
So it's gauge.
You could try it. We got 3 guesses. So One away.
Okay. Benchmark, standard, normal, gauge. One of these is off. We're pretty sure benchmark, standard, normal are it.
Pretty sure.
Those three make sense together. The last word, I don't get how it'd be combination. It doesn't make sense.
Either.
And it's not yardstick somehow.
No.
So is it dry? I don't know what the group would be.
I don't either.
We're getting down to one guess, so we got to call now. Now it gets tricky.
Benchmark, normal, standard. Because then how would gauge, combination, oily, and yardstick go together?
I don't know, man. I got the most I can do with the states. That's the best I got for you. Everything else, I'm stumped. Benchmark, standard. You want to just try this so we can be done with this thing?
Sure, we could try it.
Oh shit! No,
nah, not close. So I think gauge had to be a part of it because that was when it was one away.
Okay, so now that messes everything up. So gauge, normal, standard, combination.
Maybe gauge, standard, benchmark, and because what we initially tried it with was yardstick, right?
Mm-hmm. Last guess. Just put something out there and just call it a night.
And I'm struggling to see the connection here. I mean, I guess we could throw combination. I don't see the connection though.
Gauge, combination, standard. No.
All right, let's see.
Benchmark, gauge. Wait, go back.
What?
Benchmark, gauge, standard, yardstick.
Didn't we do that? No, we had normal in there, I think, instead.
Oh, combination, dry, normal, oily, skin
types.
What's
a combination? Combination skin type.
So that'll do it, y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in as you guys do. Another great episode in the books for y'all. Make sure to subscribe to the show on all platforms. Make sure to subscribe to LA Sports Report. A lot of good stuff coming to you guys each week. Thank y'all for tuning in. You guys do. Be more active in the chat. We'd love to chat with y'all at some point. This thing played out. And a lot of good stuff's on the way. I'm drained after this connections, but I'm sure it was a good episode. Looking forward to all that's on the way and in the sports world as things play out. So we'll be back. We'll try to get one in on the weekend if we can. But for sure next week, as we do each week, covering all that's going on across the LA sports landscape. I appreciate y'all for tuning in as you guys do. Any word from you, Alec, as we got here?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Call it a day. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Deuces.